I hereby call to order the regular public meeting of the Teaneck Board of Education held on Wednesday, March 13, 2015, in the third floor Sherman Miller Porter Student Center at Teaneck High School. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to the record, the Suburbanite, filed with the Municipal Clerk of the Township of Teaneck, and posted inside the Teaneck Board of Education, 1 Marison Street, on Friday, May 8, 2015. Roll call, please.
Dr. Duguid?
Here.
Dr. Gruber?
Here.
Mrs. Rappaport?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Rose?
Here.
Mrs. Williams?
Here.
Ms. Worrell?
Here.
Mrs. Rice?
Here.
Dr. Walzer?
Here.
I suggest a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, I'd like to reaffirm the Teaneck Board of Education goals for 2015 on 14 and 15. Goal number 1, students attending the Teaneck Public Schools will acquire the skills, knowledge, and understanding to be successful in the 21st century. Goal number 2, teachers and administrators in the Teaneck Public Schools will acquire the skills, knowledge, and understanding necessary to support student achievement. Goal number 3, the environment in the Teaneck Public Schools will be safe and respectful, with students and adults appreciative of the unique contributions of members of the community. Goal number 4, the Teaneck Public Schools will communicate effectively with parents and with the community. And then finally, goal number 5, the Teaneck Public Schools will provide funding for goals 1 through 4 and sustain school facilities while respecting community resources. At this time, we'll turn the meeting over to our superintendent, Barbara Pinsack.
Thank you, Dr. Walzer. The first item for my report is a bittersweet moment because our senior board representatives are going to be going on to maybe not greener pastures, but a different, little bit different future. So I'd like to reintroduce Jasmine Senior, Lorraine Rosado, and Anthony Phillips to give their report. Maya is not with us this evening physically, but she's with us in spirit, and I know you'll give Maya our best wishes as well. So with that, take it away.
Good evening. We just want to, from all 4 of us, we just want to thank the board for giving us this opportunity. We've had a great time here. In absence of Maya, we're just going to say what colleges we're going to. So Maya's going to the University of Maryland, College Park. Myself, I'm going to Temple University.
I'm going to Rutgers Newark.
And I will be attending Hampton University.
So to start the meeting off, we start in April. The peer leadership selection process has begun. Applicants had interviews and mock outreaches where students had practice and activity as if they were peer leaders with their freshmen. Advisors for the upcoming year are Mr. Olender and Ms. Augustine, and they hope to pick the most qualified students to do their job. We wish the upcoming freshmen and peer leaders the best of luck.
April 24th, the symposium was led by Solve and Heal. 90 students participated in the symposium. The members of HEAL, Solve, and Student Council have hosted a school improvement symposium at Teaneck High School on Friday, April 24th. The event facilitated meaningful discussions and activities allowing the students to understand their role in discussing a multitude of issues within our school community and the necessity of raising the bar for personal accountability. This was a powerful event that had students focus and participate. We have found ways to improve the schools and are excited to see the voices heard and changes made.
Fast forwarding to May, on May 8th, there was an event called the Shirt and Tie for Success, sponsored by the Payne Corporation. This event consisted of a presentation from Mr. Payne and his humbling beginnings and his rise to success. He's a commentator or CNBC and the CEO of Wall Street Strategies. All the seniors were given a white shirt and shown how to tie a tie.
Also on May 8th, we had College Apparel Day for all the seniors. It was amazing as a student to witness my fellow peers come out and represent their future schools. The students were excited, and at 12 o'clock, all the students wearing apparel took a picture out on the front steps of the high school.
AP testing began on May 4th and ends May 14th for those who signed up. These students studied very hard before testing through review within the classroom and outside the classroom. We truly applaud these hardworking students and hope they attain the score they deserve.
On May 9th, the Forum organized the Mother-Daughter Brunch at the Glen Point Marriott. This event consisted of a plethora of different awards being given to women who well deserved them, such as Mrs. Conte, if she's here. Miss Conte, are you here? Stand up. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're here. I saw you. Don't hide. Don't hide. All right. And it was a very nice event. Me, and another senior, Daniel Rackman, we performed there, and Daniel Rackman also had a solo. It was a very amazing event. It was really nice to see all the women who were being recognized for all the success and achievements that they have done so.
On May 19th, the National Honor Society will have their induction ceremony in the auditorium to welcome their new members into the program. Tamba Ali, Lance Ball, Chris Brantley, and Randy Martinez will be the guest speakers for our annual Honor Roll celebration for all 3 marking periods on May 28th. The students who have received Silver, Gold, or Principal's Honor Roll over the course of the year will be able to attend.
On June 1st, the Student Council elections will be held. The nominated students will make speeches in front of their grade, and the students will vote for the cabinet of 2015 through 2016.
On May 15th, there will be a brother-to-brother workshop. This workshop is a workshop for selected male students to encourage academic excellence. There will be guest speakers who will be former students and from faculty.
On June 1st, the athletic dinner will be held at the Glen Point Marriott for senior athletes to honor those who have earned varsity letters throughout their high school careers. The evening will end with the pinnacle awarding of the Outstanding Athletic of the Year award.
On June 4th, 50 juniors will attend Ramapo College for an open house. Throughout the day, they will be given a campus tour, attend workshops on the college, and have lunch with faculty and students. Also on June 4th, where there will be a junior movie night on the lawn as a fundraiser for the class of 2016.
Rewinding back in time, back to May, on May 11th, the most magical thing happened in all of history. The seniors went on senior service. This is where seniors who have great grades and also give back to community, having at least above the community service, which requires 60 hours. Once we meet these requirements, we are able to get our papers signed out where we get exempted from final exams and we can leave our classes. But we also have to pick a supervisor to also commit some hours during the day to help do work for them. So it's beautiful, believe me.
On June 5th, the annual Career Day will be held. Over 70 Teaneck High School alumni and parents will present their careers to individual classrooms. The meet and greet will be at 12 p.m., followed by the presentations at 1:30 p.m.
There are 2 more important dates you must remember, June 19th and June 16th. On June 9th and June 16th. On June 9th, at the Glen Point Marriott, the Honors Convocation will be held. This is an opportunity for various awards, including the prestigious Science Award, to be given out, and much more. June 16th is our Community Scholarship Award dinner, so mark your calendars and come out and see our students in all their glory. One last very important announcement. Our very own Mr. Dennis Heck will be inducted into the Teaneck Hall of Fame on May 19th. May 29th. And that is all.
Good night.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for that wonderful, invigorating report. And I do want to point out that one of those honorees at that special Mother's Day brunch was our own board member, Mrs. Jervon Rice. So I was pleased to be there to see you receive your well-deserved award. Absolutely. Now, before you leave, we have some special words for you from the board, seniors.
Okay. he had to come touch it, that's what it was. But we wanted to acknowledge our students in a special way for the time that they spend with us. And we have certificates, and just want to also express our really great gratitude for their time listening through our board meetings, which they're not usually the most exciting things, but they have admitted that they did learn quite a bit and enjoyed being here. So first we'd like to have Maya Hanna. Oh, I'm sorry, Maya. I'm sorry, Maya's not here, but we do have an award for her, so perhaps you could acknowledge that on our behalf for Maya. Thank you.
She may be home watching.
Yeah, maybe she's watching. Anthony Phillips.
We know you're very shy. Thank you. Okay, don't go.
Thanks, Linda. We also have tokens of appreciation, our prized Apple pins. So thank you very much, Anthony. And next we have Lorraine Lozado. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you. And last but not least, Jasmine Senior.
Another pin. A pin giver left.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. You need the pin? We're very proud of our seniors here. They've done an excellent job of representing the student body and as well as keeping the board on point. We believe that it's very important not only as being community leaders as board members, but it's important to develop our young people so that they can lead the way and hopefully do a much better job than us. And so I would like to just congratulate them and extend to them my gratitude for all the hard work that they've done.
So we have another special event. Is Nuha here? Nuha? Oh, Nuha. Nuha Syed. We'd like to acknowledge you for your wonderful sharing your writing with us and with the world. So I called you and asked you if you would read one of your new poems for us, of the inequality poem. So would you please go to the mic, read the poem, and we'd like the world to hear this.
So, as you heard, the name of my poem is Inequality. I am done with inequality, where life is not measured by the quantity of hours we put into our work. Example, a young girl who just turned into young adult, who sits every day filling out application after application to a job that she has more than enough qualification. But why does she sit there waiting for a reply deterred when a male is more preferred? Preferred or preference is a blessing. Preference could be a way of testing. Whether you want your mother to get out of bed with her bad cough just to go to Toys R Us and get you a frozen Olaf, or take gratitude of her everyday life, where she stands for hours at a counter just for her kids to strive. With the basic needs, the basic books to read, the basic skirts and ties, the basic school supplies, the basics of taking them out once and then, ashamed because her children don't know that letters can come out of pens, to show them what their potential's worth, to show them the sparkling explosions on July 4th. But I ask again, what about the inequality of life that's seen, when those same sounds make a little girl scream because she doesn't know if this is her last day? Those sounds already took her arm and leg away. And she sits there in that war zone, her family, friends, all gone, and her all alone. Alone are we in this inequality, but we all share accountability. Don't sit here in ignorant bliss, because I ask you, how can you tolerate this? And I ask you to listen while I shout and preach and scream that there are so many kids being bullied through screens. You think you can stand here helpless, clenching your fists. Every second you waste, another girl has a knife to her wrist, and another boy is being bullied at school, and another old woman walks miles and miles to get water from a cesspool. And a disfigured kid at school bends his head low, wondering why do they all look at me as if I'm a dark cloud when I'm actually a rainbow. There are kids and adults suffering out there looking for a guardian angel to take them under their wings, to treat them with care, to give them clean clothes to wear, to take a shower and wash their hair. Is there any more generosity and humanity left to spare? All the while wondering, why is life so unfair? Thank you.
Don't run away, Nuha.
Nuha not only is a great writer, but she's also an award-winning writer. But her mother's in the audience. Would she please stand up? Nuha volunteers her time on Saturdays working with a group of young people, and so not only is she talented and smart, but also altruistic in sharing her talents with other young people. And we thought that it would be a wonderful opportunity for us to showcase some of our young people here. In fact, this is going to be the thing that we're going to continue to do at each of our board members, to represent our young people, to show the talent and a lot of the hard work that our students are doing, our teachers are doing, and most of all, our parents. So Nuha, thank you so much for sharing that wonderful poem with you, and we have a award for you. It's called, or rather, certificate. Teaneck Public Schools, Talent for Writing. This is a certificate of merit to recognize Nuha, and I won't even try to say your middle name. How do you say it? Syed. So let's give another round of applause, please.
So next, I'd like to ask Mr. Todd Sinclair. You see how I get out of the superintendent report? I just have all this wonderful talent sharing and pointing out other talent. So Mr. Sinclair, would you please take over for the next round of acknowledgments and awards?
Sure, thank you. Yes, my name is Todd Sinclair, and I always take a lot of pride and honor when I introduce myself as the Teaneck High School Athletic Director. That pride and that honor comes because of the way our athletes, our student athletes, represent themselves, their coaches, their teachers, and our community when they're at events, and they do that with grace and dignity under pressure. And that's the best part of being an athletic director, is to see them grow as young men and women. Tonight, we are going to recognize our winter athletes. They had a lot of accomplishments this year. And I want to thank the board for taking this time to recognize them. Thank the board for setting up their certificates that they will be getting tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you, Superintendent Barbara Pinsack, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Vincent McHale. I'd like to also thank our principal, Mr. Dennis Heck. We are so fortunate to have him as our principal. For me, as an athletic director, somebody who knows sports and knows the value of sports and academics. When you combine the two, how you build good character. So I appreciate it. Mr. Dennis Heck will be introduced at the Teaneck Athletic Hall of Fame on May 28th. That's a Thursday, and you can get tickets if you'd like to attend on our website. Without further ado, I would like to, at this time, call up our head girls basketball coach, Ms. Shanae Clark, and she will help to give out the award and the certificates for the girls basketball team. The girls basketball team this year were a three-way tie in the league championships. I'm going to ask those students, if they're here, to please come up and receive their certificates. Please hold your applause until they all come up. Freshman Ebony Brown, Tamia White. Sophomores Destiny Dow, Kalia Hope, Khadijah James. Juniors Ariel Archibald, Hannah Ashby, Justine Esquillian, Amanda Gordon, and Christine Starkey, manager, and senior Brianne Holbert. Now, I know I'm missing two folks, but I'm doing them separately because they had special honors, and that's junior Milan Johnson and senior Faith Ashby, who made all-county honors this year. So that is your girls' basketball team for this year.
up and take a photograph if you want.
You're setting up chairs, right? One more round of applause for our ladies' 2014-15 girls basketball team. Thank you, ladies. Next team that's up, 5 years in a row, Big North champions, boys basketball team. Head coach Jerome Smart will be reading those names out.
Good evening. We have sophomores Kevin Gibbs, Malcolm McLeod, sophomore manager Taylor Shaw, juniors Gianni Bannerman, Amadou Barry, Chandler Davenport, Kyle Lawrence, Nick Whitaker, seniors manager Monica Bazile, manager Brianna Phillip, Khalil Leggett, Ebenita Olamise. Next, we have the award-winning players that got honors, postseason honors. Second team All-County was Tyler Deering. He also made first team All-League. Third team All-County was Zachary Olakani. He also made first team All-League. Next, we've been blessed here at Teaneck over the years to have great point guards. We have 2 in the building at this point in time. One is a freshman, Jaquay James, made first team All-League, second team All-County, second team Group 3 All-State, and he broke Mike Nurse's record for three-pointers in a game, where he scored 10 three-pointers in a single game. He's also rated the #1 point guard in the 2018 class in the state of New Jersey. Lastly, we have sophomore Leandre Washington II. He made first team All Big North for the second year in a row, first team All County for the second year in a row, first team All North Jersey for the second team in a row, first team Group 3 All State for the second year in a row, third team overall All State. He also scored his 1,000th point during the course of the year and now has 1,100 points. And he's rated the #1 point guard in the 2017 class in the state of New Jersey.
We're going to give them apples, all right? Once you finish, we'll give them apples.
Okay. That's our team for this year. Thanks, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Nice job, guys. Thank you. Oh, he's giving you something. Huh? Oh, he had it. Oh, okay, good. Nice job, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. I'd like to ask our head bowling coach, Ms. Stephanie Bear, to please come up and make these 2 presentations. Ms. Stephanie Bear.
Thank you, Todd. All right, this year, again, last year we had our whole team made first team All-League. We won the counties. This year we did as well. Both these students won first team All-League as well as All-County third team. That goes to Gail Kelly and Marisol Fonseca.
Wait, don't go, don't go. Oh, but he's over there.
I'm not sure if our head fencing coach is here. I'd like to recognize her, Miss Pat Lawrence. Her fencer this year, junior Donna Scaloli, was third team All-County. Donna, can you please come up? Nice job. Push those down towards me. I'm going to ask our head coach, Mr. Charlie Lovelace, to please come up and help make some presentations for the indoor track team. What a great season for the indoor track team this year. A lot of school records went down. I think 5 school records. Many of them stood for 10, 15, 20 years. And a lot of first team, second team, and third team All-County. So I'd like to recognize some of those students at this time. Christian Osorio, junior, first team All-County in the 300 meters. Junior Nina Van Backel, third team All-County. Amina Saraga. And Tony James, second team All-County. If you can please come up. Here are some of our record setters. Darren Guzman in the 3200.
One, two, one, two.
That's our indoor track team. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Coach Charlie Lovelace. And Olivia Randolph, if you can please come up, also part of the team. Olivia? Was she the only one? Sorry about that.
She broke the one that broke the records.
Let's say records here. As a sophomore, Olivia broke a few records this year in the 800 meters, the 1,000 meters, and the 1,600 meters, and she's only a sophomore. Olivia Randolph. Nice job, Olivia. Next up for us, we always remember that we are student athletes, and the word student comes before our athletes, and all of our students keep that in mind. Our academics are very important, and the swim team exemplifies that the most for us. This year, as in many years, they were awarded the National Scholar Team Award for gold level GPA. The boys' overall GPA for everybody on that team, 3.38, and for the girls, 3.865. Nice job with academics. I'm going to ask head coach Matt Green to please come up and make those announcements of all the team members. Ask for him to do the boys first.
Okay, I can do
I'm going to read all the boys' names first. Mike Archer, Jason Arthur, Carlos Clark, Marcus Gonzalez. They're walking slow, but these guys are really fast in the water. Brandon Hadnot, Jonathan Hamilton, Julian Hamilton, Jason Hyatt, Tristan Hyatt, Matt Holman, Chris Lee, Austin Meikle, Georgie Menendez, Josh Palpalatok, Mark Pothin, Raymond Sarza, Daniel Walcott, Alex Wind, Christopher Wind.
You want to get them all with the picture? I don't see any pictures being taken. All right, that's enough, right? Cool. As soon as they get them all?
Dr. Walzer's giving them out.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll say the girls, and then you'll read a few records.
I'm not going to read any of the records. I'm just going to say I think 9 of them are broken this year. Okay, that's cool. I think I counted. I think it was 9. I'm not going to read that. There's no way you're going to want that. Nice. Yeah. They had 9 records. What a year this was for the swim team. 9 school records were set. Nice job. Oh, we're getting to the climax right now. You know, this next moment is pretty big.
Okay, thank you, boys.
Photo op? Who's taking a photo?
I don't see any cameras.
Well, there's a guy over there, and there's lots of parents here.
Oh, yeah. All right, photo op.
Photo op if anyone wants to take a photo. And if you see on the back there were 9 swim records this year broken between the boys. Thank you, gentlemen. Our all-county swimmers are up there, Tristan Hyatt and Raymond Zarza, Jason Arthur and Joshua Papalaktik, all-county swimmers. This next swimmer is someone that we are in his presence right now witnessing history. It's been 25 years since we've had a swimmer at Teaneck High School win a state championship. This is someone who, for many years from now, is going to be known as one of the greatest swimmers ever to come through our halls here. He's on his way to setting every single record that we have downstairs for the boys. And these are some of the things that he did. Big North Conference Swimmer of the Year, North Jersey Swimmer of the Year, High School All-American, recent issue of Sports Illustrated, Faces in the Crowd. He set 5 school records this year, and he set county and state records. Let's put it together for Jason Arthur. I'm so glad that Matt's here. Matt, why don't you stand by him right now? Matt has been, well, I said 25 years, and Matt was the swim coach here 25 years ago when we had that state champion, and he's still here. This is a great moment for him, too, and I'm so happy for him because he finally got recognized this year along with Jason with some accolades. He was North Jersey Coach of the Year and also Bergen County Coach of the Year. That's Matthew Green. Here's where we're witnessing history. I'm going to ask Ms. Javon Rice and our president, Mr. Artie Walters, to make a presentation. That is the state champion. Please get that. We're going to get that to these two people right Nice job. Matt, you still have some duty to do here. We've got to call the girls up at this time. So, Matt, if you can please call all the girls' names at this time that were part of that Scholar GPA ranking.
And the girls, Diamond Joy Arnold, Marissa Broswell, Michelle Burry, Tyler Sentinel, Aaliyah Donnelly, Danielle D'Onofrio, Virginia Ann Dundon, Ariana Guvera, Hazel Henderson, Reva Kelly, Kaishin Lin, Chloe Marchesani, Marie Mendoza, Eleanor Quinn, Veronica Pavlik, Kamakshi Ranjan, Alicia Thompson, Danielle Thompson, Adriana Vidal, Amanda Vidal, Kerry Dundon, Chloe Rodriguez, Jordan Reisman, and Jasmine Senior.
Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you in the audience for your participation and your attention, and that ends our section of the Winter Athletes Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sinclair.
Very proud. These are our proud moments. We take a lot of beatings in these meetings, so these are nice shining moments. Thank you.
So next, we've invited some people who do so much for our students in our district, and I wouldn't say that they do this behind the scenes, but they're not always acknowledged. And so I'd like to turn this over to Board Trustee Sarah Rappaport, who has some special acknowledgement and award for some very special people.
Good evening, everybody. I'll stand on my tiptoes because I'm afraid to touch it. Thank you. Artie touched it. He's got the magic touch. So it's nice to be here tonight. It's always fun when we can acknowledge all the positive things that go on in the district, and aren't our student athletes wonderful? I think we should give them one more round of applause. Now, the reason I'm up here tonight is back in, I guess, June, I was asked, along with a committee of 3 other of my board colleagues, Dr. Duguid, Ms. Rice, and Ms. Williams, to look into the after-school programs here in the district. And in the course of doing that, realized that there was a whole group of volunteers in our 3 elementary schools, Hawthorne, Lowell, and Whittier, thank you, who basically volunteer their time to help keep the Working Parents Association after-school programs going. And we like anybody who volunteers time on behalf of our kids and our families, we like to acknowledge. So we invited them all to be here tonight and have certificates for them and apple pins for them as small tokens of the work they do on behalf of our children and their families. That's in alpha order. And I've got the list. I just want to say, if I mispronounce anybody's name, I'll apologize in advance, and if anybody gets their certificate and their name is misspelled, we tried really hard to make sure we caught everybody and got their name spelled right. But please just let us know, and we'll get you a new certificate with it spelled correctly. So I'm going to start with the parents who are involved in the Hawthorne Working Parents Association. Rebecca Alston. Do they all say it? Shoot, she screwed this up. Okay, so just give them and tell them we'll get them a new one.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much.
Anne Marie Erngren. We'll get you new ones. I apologize. Joanne Gadsden. Jacqueline GL. I hope I said that right. Florence Hadnot. Ivy Johnson. Karen McAvoy. Delcy Moya. Karen Saraga. Michelle Sotelo. And Christelle. The reason we weren't sure how to spell your name right, so we did it 3 different ways so you have it right. Christelle Vasquez.
We got some more people?
And we have 4 parents from the Lowell Working Parents Association. Charmaine Dorman Sims.
Thank you.
Betty Madariaga. Cecily Ruger. Thank you. And Carice Shortridge.
I gave her that. Yep. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. I'm Luger. Thank you so much. There you go.
Okay.
They are
Somehow got Lowell. Get your apple here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's your pen. Okay, good. Thank you. Your last name again, I'm sorry?
Oh, sister, here you go.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you get your apple?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. How you doing?
Do everything but roll. 3 of them. So, who finally tells them it's become dead.
And her apple.
Okay. Finally, we have 3 parents we want to recognize from the Whittier Working Parents Association. David Crittenden. Here he comes.
Representing the males, right?
Yeah. There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Delasha Lovelace.
How you doing, man? Looking good, man. Thank you so much, man. Here you go.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you so much.
And Susie Randolph.
The program.
Mr. Clinton wants it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Lovelace, right?
No, Randolph.
I'm sorry.
So one more time, I think we should give a round of applause to these parents who keep these programs going so our kids are safe and well entertained after school. And Mr. Crittenden would like to make a few remarks.
Good evening. Unfortunately, my target market, most of them,
have exited, right? One of the things that we're trying to do at the WPA, the Working Parents Association, is, and like this is going to be a critical part of what we're trying to do moving forward, is to bring a little bit of, technology, STEM training, making movies, claymation and things like that, 3D printing. But one of the main things we're trying to do is to improve the reading levels of the kids that are in the Whittier Working Parents Association organization. And the athletes are prime targets for me and our organization because athletes understand winning. They understand going to the next level of competition and working hard. And we would love to have some of the athletes. I'm going to talk to Denise Schachter and really try to recruit some of the athletes to come and get the kids. Our goal is to get them practically, demonstrably, a grade or a grade and a half or 2 grades ahead. So really a grade and a half or 2 ahead of their reading level. So the first graders should be able to read at a 3rd grade reading level, right? And as an athlete, we would like some of these students to participate in putting your student out in front of their parents and demonstrating that these kids, under your tutelage, under your guidance, and with our help, can achieve these types of levels of academic excellence in the same way that we honor you tonight for your athletic excellence. And I think that if we can do that, it's very doable, but we need people, the right kind of people, to do it. So if you hear David Crittenden's name looking for you in Teaneck High School next year, that's what it's for, okay? Thank you very much.
And that concludes my superintendent's report.
So that was a fun part of the meeting. It was really nice to see some of our students here, and of course they are the student athletes that they are. We'll understand if you have to depart and go to do your homework, but we thank you for being here tonight, and it was our privilege to honor you and recognize you tonight. So thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the part of the meeting where we can have comment from the public. We'll spend an hour on this. We'd like for you to speak about anything that is on the agenda. You would step up to the microphone. We'll give you 3 minutes. We'll give you your name and address, and we'll be happy to hear you.
Okay. Good evening. I am Lisa Marie Scambatti. I am the Teaneck Township Education Association Vice President. I work at Lowell School. Unfortunately, Gerald Henry, the TTA President, is home ill this evening, but he has asked that I read this on his behalf. A large part of the value in our students' education comes from the role played by all of those who work with our students in the schools. Their teachers, whether it's math and language arts or dance and drama, their paraprofessionals, their nurses, and their secretaries. Each student is a better student and individual because of the role these people play in their daily lives. We are sitting here tonight seeing the value of our students' educations diminished as we lose some of these very wonderful people. On behalf of the TTA, we would like to applaud those who may lose their positions with tonight's budget vote for the wonderful work they have done for our students and our community. We would like to especially thank our dance and drama teachers for providing such a rich education in the arts, our paraprofessionals for helping to serve our neediest students, and our secretaries for the work they do each and every day in helping each building run smoothly. They carry out the work that often goes unseen by those outside of the building, and we appreciate all of you. The TTA will continue to work to save these valuable positions given the parameters of the current budget, but we are extremely saddened by the current state of affairs. We do ask that the board continue to work with us as we strive to continue to provide quality education to all of our children in Teaneck. Thank you.
I just want to clarify for the record, the budget vote was last week. I think that, so just so people don't think the budget vote is tonight. Right. So Dr. Frohnapple, will you make for the record? Okay.
But the public vote is tonight, so just, so, right.
Okay. Anyone else?
My name is Barbara Ann Waka. I've lived in Teaneck for 32 years. My husband and his family for 70, 80. I've been a paraprofessional for 16 years, as you know. I've gone to school to help better educate myself, to help my students. There are 46 paraprofessionals on a published seniority list. On the same list, our educational degrees are recorded because Teaneck's hiring protocol as of 2005 was to hire only highly qualified individuals to work as paraprofessionals, entrusting the educational, emotional, and physical needs of our special education children. Since this administration has hired outsourced people, you have not published their educational backgrounds. If you have lowered the standards of your employees that work only with special education children to match your financial needs, I wonder if this administration is discriminating against our special education children.
I'm going to wing this one, all right? My name is Karen McAvoy. I'm with Hawthorne, with the Working Parents Association. This is my daughter's Chase, and she's IEP'd. I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, the two teachers are going to bring tears to my eyes. The two teachers that mean the most to my daughter are her special ed teachers. I don't know if I can say their names. Okay, well, they're through Hawthorne School, and without them, she would not be improving immensely. This year was her best improvement. So before decisions are made, please take it into consideration how much we do appreciate as parents what all you do. You're choking me up. You do a lot, and it goes appreciated. So I hope it gets looked into this matter more. Thank you for hearing me out.
Hi, my name is Lauren Daniels. I am a resident of Teaneck, and I am a former Teaneck teacher for 35 years. In many of those 35 years, I taught in the performing arts, and I'm just here to say that it deeply saddens me to see that the drama and dance programs at the middle school are being considered to be cut this evening. I can only say that in my experience at the middle school, both the dance and drama programs were extremely valuable to so many of the youngsters involved, and to me as well as a teacher, to be able to teach next door and with all the drama and dance teachers that I work with, in particular with Nina O'Dude and Tacola McRae and Lottie Porch. Their experience and their performance values, the things that they brought to both rehearsal and performance and discipline and passion for arts, was something that the loss of these programs will be immeasurable to the middle school programs. In turn, if we think of, yeah, you can applaud that, that'd be nice. I've heard it said that some of the people have said that perhaps that none of the surrounding towns offer dance and drama, and I say precisely that makes us what we are. That makes us unique. For me to go out as a Teaneck middle school chorus teacher to county auditions, to state auditions, and talk about the programs that were available at my middle school, and to be able to be proud of the fact that not only did we have band and chorus, but we also had dance and drama. It just seems to me, as an artist, an immeasurable loss. And I implore you to take another look at this, because I can say to you that there are the dance program and the drama program start from somewhere, and they're going to somewhere. They are feeding both dance and drama programs at the high school. If we look at some of the other middle school encore offerings, they come from nowhere and they go nowhere. They are nice offerings, nice choices, but they don't really have that much to do with the continuing curriculum. So once again, these are some of the things, the performing arts are things that really deal with the whole person, the whole child. I implore you once more, please reconsider and reinstate dance and drama at the middle schools. Thank you so much.
As you walk up to speak for your 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a 1-minute warning. I mean, 1 minute before your time is up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Winsome Jones, and I am a parent of a senior at Teaneck High School. And I felt that I had to come out and say something on behalf of, our performing arts program. Many of you know my daughter Chelsea Ann Jones, as a singer and dancer and actor. And I can tell you as a parent that Chelsea has made so much progress as a result of our performing arts program. Her level of confidence has increased, and right now she is going to be she's going to start at Temple University in the performing arts as a result of all that she gained through our system here at Teaneck. So I really would be brokenhearted to see those programs cut, because I would really love to see our children from Teaneck benefit the way my daughter did. If you may bear with me for one more second, I am also a paraprofessional at BF. And so I work in the trenches every day with our special needs children. Again, I'm deeply saddened to know that the core people, our foundation, stand the loss of, being cut from the program. As you know, our special needs children, they really need stability. They need to see the same faces every day. And so I ask you to please reconsider and even think of a modified approach instead of wiping out, the way it is right now, because it's wonderful what we have right now. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I'm a former alumni of Teaneck High School, and I'm here to speak about two issues. One is the paraprofessionals. I'm actually...
Could you tell us who you are?
Sheree Mirage, I'm sorry. So I recently just started working with an agency that you outsource to for paraprofessionals, and I'm going to tell you that going into a new classroom every day and working with these special needs kids is not easy to me. And I've worked with adults for years with special needs. And I really think it is important, to keep the paraprofessionals in the district and not just have outside agencies come in just because it's cheaper. I think that, working with these kids and coming from this agency, I didn't get any training, honestly. I really didn't get any training. I didn't get a formal interview. It was a group interview. Did you graduate college? You could work for us. And I don't think that going into the job, I knew I was going to work with these special needs kids. And I don't think I would be equipped to handle these kids from any school I've been to, no matter what age, if I didn't have the background prior to going to the agency. So outsourcing is definitely not the answer if you're thinking about your stakeholders. It's definitely not the answer. Second, the real reason why I came here, what attracted me, was because I seen that the dance program is going to be taken away. And I'm going to tell you that being in school all day, more than your home, and then have to really just stick to your books, you need a break. You need some type of release. I don't think you know how hard school is now with all the pressure and bullying to really stick through a class the entire season. You have college for that. Let kids be kids and let them have a free moment, organized free moment to learn discipline. It's not gym. You really do learn things. You do learn the discipline. You know how to be quiet for 85 minutes and still have structure. You know what I'm saying? So, like, getting rid of the dance program, you're not thinking about the kids. Getting rid of the paraprofessionals, you're not thinking about the kids or the parents or the people who are actually working. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a former student of Teaneck High School. I'm a sophomore. And I just have a question.
What's your name?
Ariana Guevara. What happened when Shakespeare said the theater was a stage? I think theater is as important as math and science. Not only in theater do we learn how to socialize and how to interact with people, but also it helps us for an interview further on to college. And it's a way that we can express our feelings, and especially through middle school when there's a lot of bullying going on, and sometimes theater and dancing is the only way that we can take away all the stress that we get from bullying, that we get from homework. It's the only way to relieve ourselves through the performance arts. I have something else to say. I'm in teams, and sometimes they look at teams kids as not social enough kids, that we're not interacting with the world because we change classes differently. I'm in theater right now, and being on stage has changed my life completely. I now can go up to you guys and speak without being afraid of what others are going to say. And I thank Miss Oldud, who's sitting over there. She was my 7th and 8th grade teacher, my theater teacher. And thanks to her, I'm not afraid of going up on the stage and performing whatever I want, expressing whatever I want, and not being scared of others are going to say behind me. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Anne-Marie Erngren. I'm a parent of a child with an IEP. He has benefited from the classrooms called inclusion classes. We have Ms. Walker in our class, and I feel that his progress has changed from kindergarten to the 4th grade, and that is all attributed to the para staff that come into these classrooms and help out the teachers. It's very difficult for one teacher to handle a class with special needs kids. Okay? It's just almost impossible. And like the young lady was saying, you can't have someone that goes in each day into a different class. These kids formulate relationships with these people. They know them. They remember them. We see our kindergarten teacher here. My son loves her. He remembers her from that. You can't just interchange people like that when you're dealing with special needs children. One other thing that I noticed is that we went to I think it's called the Ed Walsh Field Day last year. I took a day off of work just to participate with my son to show him that I'm there for him. What I saw when coming into that school was child after child after child that is a special needs child. The majority of those children were coming from Bryant School, which means that We're now taking away teachers that are supposed to help build these children up. Bryant School, kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, and you're taking the teachers away from them. They're not going to benefit from the things that my son had if these people are gone. That was the largest group of kids came from Bryant School. It was child after child. You need to look at the numbers on how many kids in these schools are special needs, have IEPs, and make that decision based on that. You cannot take away what was given to some and think that it's not good enough for all. The benefits far outweigh what you're doing here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christopher Ortiz. I'm a current senior here, and I just wanted to say something on behalf of the theater department at the middle school and at the high school. This year I participated in 2 productions, Arsenic and Old Lace and Little Shop. And I would just like to say that with my experience with both productions, I think there's something invaluable about what you can learn through a theater department. And I think that it's not fair to take away the opportunity to learn as much as you can. And I look around at, or I think about my fellow cast members, my fellow crew members, and I think about how much talent they have and how much dedication they put into putting on a performance, and putting on a production. And I feel like it's not fair that you would take that opportunity away from them. Even at the middle school level, I feel like you need that building block to come here and to move forward. And I would just really really want you to rethink taking away something so vital as a theater and dance department. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm your student ambassador. I respect you guys on like a level because I know this must be one of some of the hardest decisions you ever had to make. But on the behalf of me being me, because like Dr. Warster said, I'm not shy. Well, part of the reasons why I'm not shy is because growing up, because I was always into that stuff. And if it wasn't for people such as like Miss O'Dude or Miss McCree or Miss Villani or Mr. Murphy, I wouldn't be the type of person I am today. My college essay was based off of performing arts through middle school and now, and the fact of the matter is this performance? See? So, but the fact of the matter is that this college essay is the same college essay that got me accepted to over 8 schools. It's like I don't understand how you can remove performing arts from a middle school. There's some of my peers, some of my acquaintances, these are kids who be in the streets doing drugs or doing all this other stuff, and these kids come here and they use performing arts to dedicate their time to these performing arts, like theater, dance, everything is what keeps the kids occupied, is what keeps them going, is what keeps them driving. There's even people who says they would never go on a stage ever in their life who got there and their life changed tenfold. It changed me tenfold. To be honest, when I was younger, I was a very depressed kid. I never wanted to talk to anybody. I was severely antisocial. I figured that there's plenty of times I might as well just, get rid of my life and just jump off a bridge or something. But when it comes to performing arts, there's just something about getting on that stage. There's just something about being able to express yourself or being with a community of people who just don't care. They just don't judge, because when you're a part of a family such like this, you just feel like you're part of something different. So I understand this is a hard decision for you guys, and I'm not saying you guys are making a bad decision, but please rethink what you guys are about to do.
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Golden. I'm a 2002 graduate of Teaneck High School. I'm a 2006 graduate of Syracuse University's Visual and Performing Arts School. And I'm just here to say I'm not speaking on behalf of a teachers association or parents. I thank God I don't have any children. But I'm here to speak on behalf of somebody who came up through the Teaneck High School, through the Teaneck public education system, specifically with regards to its dance and its drama programs. I grew up a scrawny and small kid, not that I'm much different as a grown man, but unsure of where I stood from a social aspect within school. It's very easy for children to become belittled by the idea of not being a sports star, and if you're not necessarily the brightest of shining students, you can easily get lost in the crowd amongst your peers and your teachers. What the ability of the Benjamin Franklin's dance and drama programs allowed me to have was a sense of self and a sense of purpose, and a reason for me to go home beyond just the ones and zeros of math scores and book reports, and give my parents a means of saying, here's something I can do that's special. Here's something I can do that is different, that sets me apart from the other A students in my class or the other young men and women that want to run for student council. It's something that I was innately given as a talent that I can expound upon, and you can come see me do. I was parlayed that into my high school education, where I was a member of a multitude of dance and drama programs, and the same situation happened where it allowed me the ability to give my parents and my friends something to see that wasn't necessarily the sports field. The sign back here says, effective education develops the whole person, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, physically, and socially. As I'm sure you all know, there is no greater education a young child can receive that will experiment in all of those facets than that of drama or dance. Now we can talk about stats and the fact that drama has increased the SAT scores in both math and verbal by 65 and 35% respectively. We can talk about the fact that dance has proven to reduce childhood obesity significantly. But more than any of those things, as we constantly seem to be in a state of worrying about bullying among school children, the ability for these kids to have something other than sports and other than just their grades to feel proud about is one that is beyond measure. I implore you to not put dollars over the development of young children. Thank you.
Good evening, Victoria Fisher, 628 George Street. I'm the 1996 Benjamin Franklin Achievement in Drama Award winner. I'm here because I've been attending meetings all year long, and I've been hearing the same stories that you've heard, tearful testimonies from paraprofessionals who not only work in town, but they live in town, they built lives here, they sent their children to schools here. I'm also here because I need to point out the irony and the hypocrisy of a board that honors a young woman for achievements in poetry while also cutting TNEC's arts programs. This board has a moral obligation to spend as much time seeking efficiencies and new revenues in this budget as you do nickeling and diming our students' education. Thank you.
Good evening, Asunta Trishka. I've been teaching in TNEC since 1991. I live in Fairlawn. I didn't prepare so eloquently like these students did. Oh my God. But I just made a couple of notes so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to say. I am, of course, here to support the amazing paraprofessionals that I've known all these years. But as the wife of a performing artist, the mother of two performing artists, a colleague of the nurturer of performing artists, that's really what I'm here to talk about very briefly. There are people sitting on this dais who absolutely understand the importance of performing arts because they are intimately involved, or their children have been involved at the middle school level. So I don't think I have to convince you about why it's so important. I think I just have to try to tell you to figure out some way to remember how important it is. They've mentioned, students here have mentioned bullying, but over testing, that need to release, that need to express, that need to be accepted, that need to abolish any self-doubt in a person such a young and tender age. And the last thing I wanted to say is to remember what Lauren Daniels said, is that we are unique at the middle school level to have offered dance and drama for so long, and I hope it doesn't stop. Thank you.
Well, if there's no one else, I guess I have to come up here. I'm Denise Schachter. I am the Community Service and College and Career Center Coordinator for the high school. That's my home away from home over there. I'm already nervous and tongue-tied. And I have to tell you, so I wrote something, be less than 3 minutes. When I received the letter a few weeks ago telling me my position was in jeopardy, I was stunned. But the enormity of the implication didn't hit me until last evening. So please bear with me as I read my statement while trying not to hyperventilate. Because of what my position encompasses, I doubt any one person knows everything I do. Many know as College and Career Center Coordinator, I schedule and am present for the 70-plus college visits which occur annually between September and December, and have sole responsibility for planning our annual college fair, which averages 100% participants and is attended by approximately 700 juniors and seniors. However, many do not know I help students navigate Naviance, perform college searches, and work with them individually and in groups to prepare them for interviews and campus tours. I schedule 12 to 14 instant decision days annually and arrange for classroom speakers. Recently, a representative from Bergen Community College conducted an Accuplacer workshop here, so our students attending BCC in the fall will be better prepared to take the placement test. In the coming weeks, I'll be taking 50 juniors to spend a day at Ramapo College, and the academic provost from Kane University will be visiting shortly to meet with individual students. And I maintain that impressive wall of college acceptances over there. And there are more under the screen. As site coordinator for the Virtual High School Collaborative, I oversee the online courses some students take in lieu of electives offered here. I recruit, interview, and register students, monitor their progress weekly, report their grades, and maintain ongoing communication with their teachers and parents. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the volunteers who work in our school district in town who volunteer after school, but we do have volunteers in every school, after-school program and tutoring program, including this year we started a tutoring program in the charter school. We work with every PTO in the town, and we have volunteers at every function in all of the schools throughout the year. For those of you who know me, you know my true passion is our community service program. Since the program's inception 14 years ago, our students have completed over 1 million hours of service. I want to thank the board for having the faith in me to allow me to design and coordinate this program, which the Volunteer Center of Bergen County uses as a model for all other high schools. Thanks to this program, Teaneck High... It's all the students. It's all they're doing. Thanks to this program, Teaneck High School students can be seen everywhere, making a difference in the community and in the lives of those in need. I couldn't be more proud of their accomplishments and the citizens they've become. In addition to the service they perform individually, dozens of students join me each month in group activities throughout the year, including the annual Cedar Lane Halloween event, food drives for the Center for Hope and Safety and the Teaneck Food Pantry, madrigal and dance performances at the nursing homes, numerous district and town activities, and various programs with Bergen Family Promise and Children's Aid. Last Saturday, we held one of my favorite events, the annual Senior Hosting Seniors Intergenerational Dance. We organized it. It was the Teaneck Department of Social Services and Teaneck High School, and it was hosted by the members of SOLA, the Teaneck High School Student Organization for Latino Awareness. Each year, we are recognized by the Bergen County Executive and the Bergen County Board of Chosen Freeholders for our work with homeless population in the county. The Bergen County Department of Human Services refers to us as their go-to school because they know at a moment's notice they can call on us and we'll be there. I always have the students wear Teaneck High School shirts, so everywhere we go, they know that we're Teaneck and this is what it's about. And of course, I always wear my Teaneck High School alumni shirt. For over 10 years, we've been participating in the Big Brothers Big Sisters in School program, which trains high school students to be big brothers and sisters to littles in the elementary school. This year, we had 50 bigs mentoring littles in Hawthorne, Lowell, and Whittier schools. Last week, I was told by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Bergen County, of Bergen, Morris, and Passaic counties that Teaneck's is the biggest and best program they have. And of course it is, because our students not only rise to the occasion, they consistently go above and beyond. Daily I see the difference their service is making in the lives of others, and equally, if not more important, the difference it's making in their own lives. I believe the lessons they've learned through this program will remain with them throughout their years, and I implore the board, regardless of what you decide regarding my position, that you do not eliminate our community service program. Thank you.
My name is Mary Razor. This is my 27th year of living in Teaneck. I've had Miss O'Dude as a teacher. I've done some pretty fun things with her. I work with Miss McCree. She makes the students that I work with look really cool. I've had Miss Schachter advise me with my senior project and my senior service when I was in high school. But I'm a Teaneck paraprofessional, and my job is in jeopardy. Now, the special needs program is the biggest part of the budget, as I've been hearing. We have an extremely large population of special needs students, and I'd simply like to look into why we have such a big population. I'm concerned whether or not all of those students are residents of Teaneck, and if they aren't, that's bleeding unnecessary money from the budget, when we could be receiving money from other towns for those children, because we have an extremely awesome program here. And I know that because I see it every single day. And that's my only concern. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Christina Ortiz, and I am the parent of Christopher Ortiz. Christopher Ortiz and my daughter, Felice Ortiz, attended Teaneck schools all the way through. I have to tell you that they had a phenomenal education here. Phenomenal. Christopher will be attending NYU this September. I want to thank his teachers and everyone here for putting him there, for getting him there. I am appalled to think that we are going to start failing our children at this point by pulling back on the services that are needed. I work for the Bergen County Department of, well, we changed services, so I work for the Bergen County Department of Health. I'm an early intervention provider. I'm a service coordinator. I come out to many Teaneck's homes to see children before they reach school age. I provide speech, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and the children that they're speaking of that are the children, the special needs children, I help transition them into the school system here. And I'm always so proud to say I'm a Teaneck resident, proud to say that we have a great educational system here. And if I'm hearing what I'm hearing here, I can't believe it. Sounds like we're going to fail. It sounds like we're saying that the kids are not worth it. They absolutely are worth it. My son is a product of that. My daughter is a product of that. They are absolutely worth it. Find the money is what I'm saying to you guys. We implore you to find the money. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for your feedback and for your observations. We'll allow our superintendent to speak to some of these issues.
Sure, and some of them I've spoken to on other occasions. I think there's maybe some misunderstanding or maybe misstatement, but we're not eliminating positions of special education teachers, as someone referred to that, and that may have been just a misstatement. Secondly, we have 100 district paraprofessionals, 100 paraprofessionals in the Teaneck Public Schools. 60 of them are outsourced by Mission One and have been. So many of the paraprofessionals that we have in our schools that we think so highly of are outsourced paraprofessionals now. We're not eliminating, regardless of, that's the truth. I know many of them are excellent paraprofessionals. We've had other conversations where we know we have to improve the interview process and improve some of the training process, which I've said on other occasions. I don't believe all of you were here when I said it, that we will dedicate ourselves to making sure that anybody who comes into the district to work with our children will be trained by us, hopefully. Since we did the training or the workshops for other district paras, we can do the workshops for outsourced individuals. And I understand that it's about salary and benefits, but I know that our district paraprofessionals will have an opportunity to work from Mission One. Despite what you might feel about it or your reaction to it, that is a fact. Almost $2 million. We have reached the ceiling. We're going to, at the vote that we took at the last meeting, banked cap and banked cap. There is no more. We can't raise another dime from taxes. Why not? As we've explained on numerous occasions, bank cap, we're going to bank cap. There's not another dime that we can raise through any tax initiative. This is it. The board made the decision, to the anger, actually distress of community members, to go to cap and banked cap to keep the programs that we have. Now, I understand that this is an emotional situation. I think the Board of Ed understands this. If we had the money, we would not be looking to cut. We would be looking to build. I would far rather sit here and talk about a one-to-one laptop program, building and growing our STEM program, growing our programs, than I would to cut anything or hurt anyone. And yet, we find ourselves in that position, and we will find ourselves in that position next year as well. So things are not, and this is not just Teaneck, with a 2% cap, everyone in New Jersey is feeling it. And I'll let her speak for herself, but one of our board members many of our board members are active in the state, but one of our board members is extremely active in committees, and she made the statement, if I may, Mrs. Williams, and you can say it better than I can, that we used to, the meetings used to be all about sharing programs and growing, and now the meetings aren't about that. They're about what has to go and how we can preserve what we have. Now, we've been working on this budget for almost a year. We have worked to preserve the education in the Teaneck Public School. Many, many, many programs are remaining. For example, one of the not programs, but one of the things that we're preserving in this budget going forward for our high school students is that we're going to be able to continue to have both the both the drama production and the musical. Now, there are people who say to us, cut that out. You don't need that. That's not about academics. Don't have the drama. Don't have the musical. And actually, at one time, we had to cut and said the board had to make the decision that one year we would have the drama, the next year we would have the musical. That's an extremely expensive proposition for us, for the taxpayer, for all of us, because we spend a lot of money on the drama and on the musical, but because our students and teachers came to plead with the board, and they told us how important that both of those are, we've been able to preserve those programs. And those are only two that's only one small part of what we've been able to preserve for our students. So, going forward for next year, we've tried to have minimal impact, and I am as saddened by anybody else at the dance and drama program at the middle school. I was a middle school principal. I understand what that brings to a school district. And I, too, was and am very proud that Teaneck was able to have things that all the other districts in Bergen County didn't have. Paraprofessionals, I know they're outstanding. Some of them spoke this evening. Some of our district paras are truly unbelievable. But we're able to maintain all of the clubs and activities for the students that they tell us are so important to them in their growth and development, and on their resumes for colleges, they tell us that those programs help them stand out when colleges are looking at students. That the programs at Teaneck High School and in our earlier schools help our students stand out. Our sports programs. There are people who wish us to cut all of our sports programs. And they've been very outspoken at many board meetings this year because they feel that sports aren't a part of an academic program and don't need to happen for our children. Our board disagrees. Our board understands the importance of sports programs. They understand the importance of our Teaneck coaches, who are role models for these students, and role models about the students' academic life as well, their life as scholars in the Teaneck Public School. So as much pressure as the board feels, self-pressure, and as much as they hear and are saddened to hear, I'm sure, and we're saddened to hear the expressions of the people who are employed by the Teaneck Public Schools tonight, there's a community who is also scrutinizing, and they're the community who makes decisions, maybe not about taxes, but certainly about other things about us. So 1.1 to $2 million. And some economies have been suggested by some of our our best and brightest people, and we are, believe me, going to be practicing a lot of economies next year. Again, could not be sorrier. Wish there was a way for us to have more money. We are not in a position, because we're suburban, to really get a lot of federal funds. Our state aid has been flat. We have, without really complaint about other schools, but the truth is $5 million in charter school payment. We have millions of dollars in busing, because we're the wonderful community that we are, and we're so diverse. So I don't know if I missed anyone's comments or failed to respond to anything, but I think that that pretty much sums it up.
Mr. Lambert, I'm sorry, but we had an opportunity for the public. This is not the time to have this sort of back and forth. No, you had an opportunity to ask that earlier if it's an agenda item, and if you hold on for a second, no, you cannot come in here and do that. No, not at this time. We'll have another opportunity for people from the public to speak to things that are not on the agenda. You've missed the opportunity to do that on the agenda. In fact, I'll take it a step further. You know something, we talk about, Ms. Ortiz, could you... Yeah, I appreciate that. Ms. Ortiz, I just want to say to you that job well done. Job well done. I understand it. I got it. I'm about to finish that statement. Absolutely. That is the whole point of having a school district like Teaneck, where you can have the teachers, the administrators, custodians, all of those wonderful things that support our children. The arts, the music, the dance, the theater, the fine arts, the literature, all of those things. And your son is taking full advantage of that, and we all are the beneficiary of that. You sort of put your hit the hammer on the nail on the head when you talked about find the money. I've been on this board for almost 12 years, and that's all we've been doing during that time is to find that money. Unfortunately, there's no more to be found. Now, let me put this into context for you. I, myself, am an educator. I'm a scientist. I'm an advocate. I volunteer in this community outside of the board. I'm also an artist, both in theater and in music. I've actually worked in a music school. I heard that you said you worked for, I think, for a state agency and for a county. Okay. How's the budget going these days with your county office? Okay, truth be told, it's worse for the school district. Nobody up here is pleased with this. No one. Absolutely no one. We understand the value of art. We understand the value of a holistic educational system. But we're really at the point where we have no other decision to make other than that. We don't have the luxury of saying, well, I'm going to have this, because it's a zero-sum game. The budget that we have is the budget that we have. To talk about what to do now, it's, as some would say, a day late and a dollar short. And I'm not saying that to be flippant, but I'm really trying to be as honest and as clear. I'm not trying to offend anyone by saying these things, because these things mean very much to each one of these board members here, because we volunteer our time. And when we say volunteer, we really mean that. We receive zero stipend, no money. In fact, it costs us very often to be here. We take time off from our work, we take time from our family, and we spend innumerable hours agonizing on how to fit this square peg into this round hole, which is the things that we want to give to all our children and the budget. And it is becoming worse and worse. And in fact, it is not going to get better, and that's not a threat. Now, here's the thing that is somewhat frustrating. I know that each of you are frustrated here. I think the teachers who teach are frustrated because they want the things that they can give to our kids. I think the parents are frustrated because they want those parents whose children have benefited from what we had would like to see that paid forward. And I'm so much with it. Both my sons went through this school. Both my sons are artists. So we broke. One's a musician, a jazz musician, no less. The other one is a fashion designer. I'm an engineer and an artist. So we didn't take the safe route. So I understand that life, in fact, one of the beautiful things about this town is that it's filled with artists. But artists who have houses and mortgages like normal people and learn how to live a life. And I think a lot of it has to do with the culture here in Teaneck. But things have changed. The biggest change was back in 2008 with the economic downturn. 90% of our school budget comes from the tax levy, meaning people like you and everyone up here who lives in this town, and many of our teachers and paraprofessionals live here. They pay 90% of our budget. And with that economic downturn, if the people who pay to run our schools no longer have those funds because either they're underpaid, unemployed, or underemployed, where do you get that money from? And then you now compound that with the 2% cap on top of that, which means we cannot raise it anymore. In fact, the board had tried to be sensitive to, on one hand, how do we, I think that's what's, it's our goal number 4, where we try to balance having those resources while being respectful of the people who live here like yourself and everyone else is up here. But we can't do anything other than what we have to work with. We have no more clay to sort of work with that. Now, there is a way to deal with this, but it requires all of us to sort of change. This board has changed in the way that it has behaved and the way that it looks at things. We roll up our sleeves. We work in the community. In terms of trying to deal with this issue, I don't know why people are not clear that this budget was voted on publicly last week. So it's done. Now, some people will say, well, can we talk? Can we work this thing out? A great part of our budget goes to, when you talk about expenditures, are benefits and salaries. The largest bargaining group here is the TTA. That's fact. There's numbers. We presented that over and over and over again. And we do that just to educate people and let them know where the money comes from and where does it go. Now, when we had settled our contract over a year ago, it's unfortunate that Mr. Henry's not here today, because I said to him, and I said it publicly with many of the TTA members here, saying that what I would like to have done is for the superintendent, our BA, myself, and vice president will go to every building and give a personal presentation to each of our teachers at each building so that we can talk about, so we can answer any question that they have about the budget, that there is no sleight of hand, nobody's buying a car, nobody's putting a pool in their backyard or with the money, that where that money goes, and then how can we deal with these particular issues, because it's going to really require this sort of thing. I was basically, every time I put that out there was no response. We did get a response. We finally did get a date, and then the day before we were supposed to meet and to have this meeting, it was preempted, and the excuse I received was that, I'm sorry, our agenda was too filled. Too filled to talk about the budget that people are out now complaining about, that, well, we need to find the money. Well, we know where the money is. The question is, can you give it up? A redistribution of that so that we can afford to pay for the para, so we can afford to pay for the custodians. And then I can go on with a litany of these sort of things that we've made a public record, because we have nothing to hide here. We have zero to gain by cutting these programs. This is not a board like for a Fortune 500 company where we get rich by taking money from our workers. We come in with nothing, we leave with nothing, except for the understanding that maybe we had something to do with a successful student like your son. Something. I know that may not feel like that's what's happening here today, and I think I heard one of our students, and it's very painful for us to hear that they say that we're hypocritical because we're cutting a program when at the same time acknowledging the success of our students in those programs. And for board members, and that's just a gig, and I'm not saying they feel sorry for me, but it's almost a damned if you do and if you're damned if you don't, because we know whatever decision that we make, there will be a group that will be unhappy. Now, you guys kind of come when you come, you know, but we're at all the meetings. And we see this sort of panoramic view of different groups coming in. A few weeks ago, we had about 200 people from the non-public schools here screaming and yelling at us about consolidating of buses. Not getting rid of the buses, but consolidating, something that actually wasn't really happening. But we had to kind of spend about an hour to have each of them complain and call us everything but a child of God. This week is your guys' turn to say, oh, you know, you're terrible people, you're taking things, you're damaging our children, and we get to do that for the great sum of zero. What would be our argument for doing that? I mean, we must be masochistic to want to do something like that, and I assure you, I am not. I mean, I would love to kind of go home and chill, watch television, and take it. But I believe in this with all of my heart, because I believe that education is transformative, and we see that here with your son. But the challenge before us is for each of these groups, the board, the different bargaining groups, to put down the old paradigm. It does not work. It does not work. That if they really want to have a true conversation about preserving the things that we have, then it's going to have to be a true one. And it may require some pain in terms of going and moving away from the things that people have come accustomed from. I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. We have nowhere near the resources that you have here in this place. But yet I still became an artist because art finds its way. I found it in the church. And I found it in the church because people were volunteering their time, and I mean really volunteering their time. And I feel compelled to volunteer my time to do that sort of thing. So if the TTA, if any of these unions, the power want to have a real conversation about this in the union reps, and we have Mr. Lambert here, who's a representative for the TTA, if he really wants to have a serious conversation on how to deal with this issue, then he really has to sort of move away from a 20th century construct and bring it into the 21st century, which means that we're going to need, this is my meeting. Okay, then cool, then keep your hand down and follow the rules. Thank you very much. Because we can have an opportunity, in fact, for those, yes, listen to what I'm saying here, because at the beginning of this meeting, I made an announcement that we have a thing called Conversation with the Board. People want to have dialogues here. We got a camera, and they get up there and they make pronouncements, you get applause. But we're here when no one is here doing this hard work. We have a thing called Conversation with the Board, where anyone can walk up, have a one-to-one conversation. Mr. Lambert could have come up and had that conversation with us one-on-one, because I believe that my argument can hold water, because I'm dealing with the facts, I'm dealing with the reality. I'm emotional about it, but not so emotional that I don't keep to the facts and to the reality that we're having to deal with, because we're dealing with our children's lives, and we're dealing with the lives of their family. We understand that. We really do. And if there was some way for us to get some more money, we would, short of robbing a bank. So I'm going to leave it at that, and if people want to talk about that, we meet. I'll be more than happy to have that meeting that I talked about with the TTA at different buildings. Our superintendent will be more than happy to share with any information that folks want to look at and look at seriously and say things that we can actually execute and not violate laws. And that's the other thing. We are so hemmed up with laws you would not believe. There is so little that boards control. It's amazing. I know people come to us and I think you say, okay, well, you're the board, you should be able to do what you want. It is not true. It really is not. In fact, we go through a great deal of training in order to make sure that we don't go afoul of any of these laws, because we can find ourselves sued. So it is a real challenge, and I just want to stress to you, I do hear what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. But we don't have any other solution. We've really racked our brains and tried to do the very best that we can to preserve as much as we can. Our superintendent talked about that earlier, so I won't reiterate that. So I appreciate you all listening to what I'm saying, but I'm hoping that you can really absorb this and really think about what can you do personally, each and every one of you that are here, to resolve this issue, as opposed to pushing it on to a board that's really hamstrung by law and by a limited budget. Okay, David, Howard, and we had a hand over here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add that, nobody works harder than Artie, on the TNEC Board of Ed, and the challenges are all there. I tend to be a bit more conservative, but there's no greater advocate for the kids, within TNEC. And also, for the employees, because none of us like to outsource, none of us like to let people go. A few other points. One, we all support drama and dance and the professionals. We all recognize that it's very important. I also want to add a couple of comments. One is there is no hypocrisy in honoring a student poet. And this is not about, nickels and dimes. This is really about dollars. You keep coming back every single week and support your colleagues, and I really applaud that. But, words are free. The problem that we have is the success of the TTEA, and I do negotiations, is that you've out-negotiated. You've done great for the last 10 to 15 years. And so you have contributed to the outsourcing and the staff reductions now and in the future. And TNEC teachers have the 11th highest salary in the state, and in terms of benefits, this is the truth, and in terms of benefits, and I work in this field, the cost is $27,000 to $29,000 for family. According to Kaiser, the average in the U.S. is $18,000. You're a good 50% higher than average, despite the contributions that are being made. So incredibly, incredibly generous. The problem is, and I heard somebody say, well, why can't we raise taxes some more? We pay a bloody fortune in taxes. Our home values are flat or going down. Okay, that's our asset, because our taxes are so high. So as Artie says, Saving jobs is not only the responsibility of the Board of Ed, it's also the responsibility of the TTEA. And what I say is look at the baseline. When you negotiate, you always talk percentage increase. The baseline's very, very high compared to others in North Jersey, New Jersey, and the United States as well. So it's about shared sacrifice, but real shared sacrifice, and not necessarily adversarial relationship for every single dollar, every step of the way, even after when you get a deal. So as Ms. Ortiz says, the kids are worth it.
This board is not in agreement about everything. And one of those things that we're not 100% in agreement about was the budget that we just passed last week. There is one thing that we agree upon 100%, and that's our dedication to the students, their families, the community in general, as well as all of the staff that are here. We've heard a lot of pleas this evening to save this, to save that, to do this, to do that. I think that most of the board members here are in sympathy with that. But what's to be done? Can we get an additional several $1 million to have all of these programs, personnel, reinstated? It's not likely. I'm concerned because we had varying opinions on the budget, and we had a vote that was not 100%. But be that as it may, the vote was taken. We adhered to that vote. And the main concern I have tonight, in sympathy with all of what's been said tonight, but my main concern is, what are we doing starting this evening? Where are we going with this? How can we accomplish the goals that we'd like to see among all of us? I looked at a very large group of people this evening. We only have that several times a year. And each time it's with a narrow focus. Whether it be busing, whether it be the employment that you're losing. I would love to see a constant group, not of the 250 that were here tonight or the 350 that were here 4 weeks ago. I'd like to see a constant group of 100 coming in, learning, sharing, communicating, and suggesting. Don't just tell us what you want. Please, I can't do it, they can't do it. Tell us how to do it, what we can do to accomplish those goals. That's what we need from the public. You know, the suggestion last time was a bake sale. My God, what kind of nonsense is that? We're talking such significant sums of money here and such hurtful situations. Yes, hurtful situations to the staff who will soon be former staff, to our current students and our forthcoming students. Where do we go from here? What is the community going to do to contribute to the situation? That's what I'd like to know. And that's what I'd like to see communication about. That's what I'd like to see activities doing. It's not happening right now to any great extent. I guarantee you, over the next month or so, and certainly at the beginning of next year, we're going to be back down to our base group of community residents at these meetings of 7 people. That's not helpful. Again, we don't have all the answers. Maybe we don't have any of the answers right this moment. But we need your assistance in getting the answers so we can do our job, not just as well as we can do, better than we've ever done before. We need your help.
I'm exhausted. But I just want to say that I concur with most of what Barbara Pensack said, as well as Artie Walser, or Dr. Walser. And I would like to appeal to you to pay attention. There are many members of this board that strongly advocate for our students, for our parents, for the quality educational programs that TNEC provides. I was so proud of those students today. It reminds me of why I spend the time doing what we do here and traveling to other parts of the state and attending meetings ad nauseum. So, you know, we've had to fight to get the budget where it is, and as many people have said, there were a lot of disagreements on using the cap, going beyond the 2%. And there is no more. And so what we have to do is stay vigilant in terms of next year's budget, because there are people in the community that don't respect and hold our children's education or make our children's education a priority. And if we're not watching, things could slip away. And I know, I'm from Teaneck. I graduated Teaneck High School. Family's been in Teaneck over 50 years. And I have seen other communities where there was a sense of, they were comfortable, and they thought, and they had high achieving communities and public education, and it's gone. And I know we don't believe that it could happen in Teaneck, but it could if we're not paying attention. So that's what I have to ask. I mean, we have a lot of great and wonderful programs, but I appeal to you that the teachers, the parents, the students pay attention and participate, because we need your participation more than ever. The board can't do it alone. We have to, and you have to pay attention. I can't say it enough. We're getting it from the state. We're getting it from the federal government. We're getting it from within our community. You've got to pay attention. That's it.
So I just wanted to also just mention what we did vote on last week. When we did vote for the budget, we approved a $95,591,619 budget. $95 million, of which 90%, as Dr. Wallstrom was said before, comes from the taxpayer. So while we're looking at the glass being half full, all the things that are being cut, we are providing a $95 million education. And with that, we will continuously, hopefully, working with our bargaining units, find better ways to utilize that $95 million. Of course, next year, we're already looking at a $1.8 million shortfall because we will not have the availability of the bank cap. So we're already looking at further cuts for next year. So as Clara said, it's very important that we look at how we can work together to achieve the quality education that we all want for our children, but clearly we do not have the resources to be able to continue to do it at the rate that we are doing it. So we must find ways to work together. We are not the enemy. We are all here trying to support a quality education for our students. We just are trying to make sure the community is aware that we have to find a better way to provide the resources, because at $95 million, that's not small change, and that is our education that we are providing for next year.
I have to respond to what Clara said. I just want to repeat something, because I think this is an outrage. People in the community, there's certain people in the community that don't respect and make our children's education a priority, and that's totally inappropriate. I'm Jewish. That's not true. I know the community you're referring to, and I would like to say that the vast majority of Jews who live in Teaneck are liberal. And we do believe in public education, I for one, and actually quite liberal and supportive on social causes. So I think what the issue is, and I want to make this clear for Ms. Williams because it's terribly inappropriate, the issue is about taxes. It's about fair wages, and with wages 30% above average and 50% above in terms of benefits. That's the issue. We want to have a good public education, good schools raise home values, good schools are societal priority. And statements like that do not belong in the public domain.
Okay, now we're getting heated. But this is what happens when you have fear and concern, that we start reading into what each other's mean, and that happens on all sides, all sides. And this is a time for us to really live up to our creed of being a multicultural community, which means that we have to express tolerance and patience with each other. I ask you to be patient with me. It was the saying, please be patient with me. God ain't through with me yet. And he's got a lot of work to do on me. So, yeah, amen. That's right. I mean it. But we have to really be patient with each other because this is a fabulous community. We have some wonderful things that are going on in this community in spite of all of these cuts and in spite of all these things, because ultimately what really represents our community is not these programs or not the money, but actually the people. And we've seen some examples of that today. I'm here to say that we have some teachers who have volunteered their services to step in for certain programs, zero pay. And we have a lot of you out there, and actually we acknowledge some of the people here that are willing to do that. And that's what keeps me hopeful and keeps my faith strong that we will work through this. We'll just have to do it a different way, that's all. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move. Okay, we get a rebuttal now. Okay, yes.
I just have to respond to what David just said because he is, again, I think you owe me an apology. I did not identify any specific community. And I'm certainly entitled to my opinion that there are people in this community that do not support our children's public education. I didn't identify any group. And maybe you're paranoid that you want to assume that I'm identifying a Jewish group. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable, David.
As you can see, we believe in free speech here. Okay, and I think that's enough of that for now. You want to go to the agenda item or should we go to exec?
Do you want to do exec now? Or
yeah,
do
we
you
can use a break.
Stop with when we get to the...
So we'll go to agenda items now.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You want to go to exec?
Okay, we have some other business that we need to take care of, and that has to do with personnel issues. And we tried to do it at the earlier meeting, but we could not do that. And what that means is that we would have to go into executive session. We apologize for this. We try to avoid these sorts of things. Yes. Okay. You can go on the website and see when we meet, and you can get all our email addresses, and you have even our home phone number. So you can call us, and we can take care of that later, all right? All right, cool. All right, so at this time, let me see. Where's my script? Okay, I hereby call to order. We're going to have to go into executive session, so we need... Okay, I hereby call... Yeah?
Mr. President, I move to go into executive session. I think you have to read the thing about what it is and for how long.
Okay, I was trying to do that.
All right. Sorry.
Not very well, but I was trying. I hereby call to order the executive session meeting of the Teaneck Board of Education held on Wednesday, May 13th, in the College and Career Center at the Teaneck High School. Adequate notice. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one. No, actually, this is okay. Actually, this is not what I need, but anyway, we have to go into executive session to speak about matters dealing with personnel or HIB, and once the issue of confidentiality is no longer an issue, we'll make that publicly known. So can I get a motion now to go into executive session? And we plan to be in there for about... It's going to be 30 minutes. We try to keep it tighter than that, but 30 minutes. We'll try to make it a tight 30 minutes.
Move to suspend the public meeting and go into an executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so if you're not here when we get back, thank you for coming. We hope to see you again, and please communicate with us. Thank you.